Hey up! I feel like I've been neglecting two old friends recently, the Triumph T120 Bonneville and Motone Customs, because I don't seem to have done a video for them for ages. Now, I think the problem with the T120 is that I've lost confidence in the bike after the fiasco with Triumph last year. Even though I keep a ship shape and Bristol fashion, she's been off the road for well over a year now, which makes me feel sort of disloyal. And likewise, Motone Customs have had the fair share of issues this year. COVID has reared its ugly head in the workplace several times, considerably slowing operations down, and of course we've got this worldwide problem with transport and haulage. So it's been even harder for Motone than usual to keep popular items on the shelves. The cost of raw materials has skyrocketed. The whole year's just been a bit of a mess for everybody really, but despite that, Sam at Motone is endeavouring to keep prices down. As far as I know, he's not increased any prices on his products, preferring to take the hit himself rather than transfer it onto the customer. But the good news is he's more or less back up to steam again. He's just had a major restocking operation with a lot of stuff that's been out of stock for a long time now back in, with more coming in the next week. So although turkeys might be in short supply this Christmas, Motone Custom parts won't be. And don't forget, you get an exclusive channel discount through this channel using the discount code Uncle Stu Rules for 12% off any Motone Customs product at the checkout. Now, I do need to do a little bit of remedial work to the T120 because I discovered that last year when Triumph had it to do the safety recall on the wiring loom, they've somehow managed to bugger up the fuel gauge. It doesn't work anymore. I'm hoping that when they took the tank off they just haven't put the plug back in properly, but I've not had a chance to investigate yet. The thing is, the tank was showing empty when I got the bike back and I thought they'd just run it dry, and it's only recently I went to put some more fuel in and discovered that it's 3/4 full. And it was definitely working when they picked it up. Seriously, if I made something like this up, no one would believe me. Right, anyway, I've got some prototype parts from Motone Customs. As you know, I do give Motone a bit of a hand with development of parts, especially for the T120, just to check that stuff fits and works as it should do. I mean, they spend an enormous amount of money buying bikes in for development, but it's nice to be able to help. Altogether, I have 3 prototype parts to show you. This is one of their new GP style pipes for the T120. I know they're making it for other models as well. And it's codenamed ODIN, who I think was the Viking god of thunder, I'm not sure. Now, I thought it would be fun just to video me messing about with this pipe. This is actually the first prototype that they released about 9 months ago. That's how long I've had it. But no sooner had I got it, I got a text from Sam saying not to bother fitting it because they'd already moved on to prototype 2. There was a problem with this prototype in that the spacing on the mounting bracket wasn't quite right. As you've just seen there, I had a bit of a struggle fitting it. Now, since that time, they prioritised getting these pipes right for the Thruxton models and put the T120 version on a back burner for now. Because obviously this is a GP style pipe, and you know, the Thruxton owners are the ones that are going to be keenest, I think, on this design. And I believe that Sam has just got the first production grade ODINs in for the Triumph Bonneville Thruxton models. So if you have a Triumph Thruxton or Thruxton R and these pipes float your boat, I think they're on sale now. Check Motone's site out. As for this T120 version, I envisage that these are probably going to go into production sometime early next year. Now, I've always loved the cut and shut architecture of GP pipes. I think there's something really unique and special about them. These will be made entirely from stainless steel. I'm not quite sure what finishes are going to be available, but there'll definitely be a brushed finish available. Now, the set that I have here have baffles welded into them, but the up-to-date version has removable decibel killers, so that you can adjust the noise level to suit your tastes and situation. I think they provide the bike with a wonderful sort of organic architecture that you just don't get with a traditional pipe. I have, of course, recorded a little sound test of these pipes as they are, and I'll let the video play out on that at the end, so stay tuned. Next up, we have some aluminium high pressure die cast false intake covers. Again, these are designed specifically for the Triumph T120 because all models with the false emal carbs have a slightly different fitting. Now, I know from conversations with Sam that prototyping with die cast parts is difficult. Initially, the die cast process doesn't work very well until the moulds have got up to temperature, so producing a prototype is quite a costly business. I don't know how many they waste, but certainly the first few pairs have to be thrown away until the moulds reach the correct temperature and everything starts to work correctly. The examples that I was sent weren't perfect, but they were good enough for a test fitting. As you can see, they're a slotted and slightly ribbed design, quite different from the original items, and they're going to be certainly available in powder coated black like these. I'm not sure what other finishes might be planned. The only custom covers that I've seen in the past have just been pressed from aluminium. It's difficult to call them an improvement over the OEM cast parts. But again, this is where Motone Customs excels, going down the same route as the original manufacturer, producing parts that are as good as, if not better than, OEM quality. And I expect that these are going to be available sometime in the new year. I think Motone Customs must be the most prolific custom parts manufacturer on the planet. I've got to admit, I thought they already had a version of these indicator brackets out. So I was quite surprised when Sam sent me these out for test fitting. It is pretty much a rite of passage for custom builders to locate the indicators tucked just underneath the seat towards the rear. And Motone Customs have been working on this stainless steel version, which certainly, again, is going to be available in black powder coat. I don't know at this point, again, whether there's going to be a brushed or polished version. And this version should be good for the Street Twin, probably the Speed Twin, and the water-cooled T100. I think Motone Customs have done a really good job here of making them as unobtrusive as possible, while still maintaining legal indicator positions. They do have quite a bit of adjustment in them, and they are a very simple fitting via two bolts that are located on the top of the frame at the rear end of the seat rail. I believe they're designed to accept both OEM and custom indicators, and yet again, that's another custom box ticked by Motone Customs. Now, don't forget, Motone Customs has just had a huge inventory influx. So if you've been waiting for something to come into stock, it's either just come in or it's going to be in stock next week. And Sam has actually just texted me to tell me that the stainless steel Ranger foot pegs are now available for the bobbers. I actually fitted them to mine a couple of months ago. I've not shown you yet, but I'll show you next week. And I'll leave a link to Motone Customs website along with the current channel 12% discount code Uncle Stu Rules. Now, I know you're all dying to hear those ODINs in action, so I won't keep you any longer. Once again, thanks for watching this video, I really do appreciate it. I would also be very appreciative if you might leave a like for this video, and even consider subscribing if you're not a subscriber. I will, of course, be back again next week, so until then, please, ride safely, and I'll see you soon.